I think, after about 3 to 4 months, I think I was noticing uh, better better digestion. And the big one, is my back problems are gone. Ever since I've had the device, I have not been laid up in bed.
Hey, Theresa, thanks so much for coming and spending some time with me today.
Great. Yes, I'm glad to be here. And thank you so much, Tracy, for everything you're doing. You've done so much work interviewing so many people. It's very much appreciated by so many of us, especially me. I like watching them. So,
Oh my gosh, I seriously have the best job ever. I am so inspired and love these interviews, how they're so unique, yet, I mean, for most people, like this one lady I just interviewed earlier before you, I mean, like life-changing. She was on her way out, literally on her way out. And those types of stories, it's like I just hear good news.
that's,
So
yeah, that's incredible. It's very uplifting, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah.
well, I'm looking forward to hearing your story too, my dear. So can you
Yes.
start off by telling us a little bit about how you were feeling prior to coming to QHS?
Yeah, well, in my situation, I'm a caregiver of a special needs daughter. She's 20. Um, and when she hit puberty back in 2015, um, her needs increased dramatically. She had something hit her and she had to go on a feeding tube. She has a G tube. So I give her all of her meals, and I have to give her a special diet because she's very sensitive with different foods. Um, so it takes up a lot of my time, cooking her meals, blending her meals, administering her meals. And she also doesn't swallow her own saliva. She won't swallow anything. So she keeps a towel and a cup with her all the time. And so it's really been quite a journey with her. And it is very, uh, uh, it requires a level of energy that I was slowly losing. When it happened, I still had the energy to keep up with her. But, as I've gotten older, I'm um, I'm 55 now, or almost 55, and it's kind of making me tired, and I've needed more and more of my husband's help. She also um, hasn't been able. She wets the bed at night sometimes, and so she has pull-ups, and she has limited communication. So when she has problems, she has a hard time telling us what's going on and what's wrong. She has sound and light sensitivities, insomnia, OCD, chronic OCD, really bad, and difficulty planning her. I mean, she can't plan at all, really. So, I have to lead her through the day. So, I mean, she can get herself to a toilet when she needs to go, but I have to get her up off because she gets stuck in her OCD. And she'll get stuck in a lot of different places. And it's challenging for her, and it's hard as a mother to watch her go through that. So
Oh,
it's
yeah.
emotionally draining, it's energy draining, it's really, really hard. Um,
Yeah.
so that's the big thing for me is that, and having the energy to look after her and take care of her. And actually, she's the reason QHS got on my radar, is because I was watching for something. I knew something was going to happen. I knew God wouldn't let us just all suffer, and I was watching, and then Cynthia came along, so, which I'm so thankful for. But as for me and my own personal issues, uh, um, I've had digestive issues for a long time. Um, but they didn't really get bad. You know, they just kind of gradually got bad as I got older. And, you know, I've had a lot, I mean, bloating and gas and constipation, all those things that it seems like everybody has now because you see commercials for it all the time on television. And also food intolerances. I have like a growing list of foods that I just can't eat. And it's very frustrating because it's like, you know, if you're going to make something that I can't eat, let it be sugar, you know. I don't want,
Yeah.
I'd rather have an intolerance to sugar, but no, it's things like avocados and pineapples and all those healthy foods. And it's like, you know, you can't eat them. I have terrible reactions to them. So all that digestive stuff has, you know, over time, it's affected my thyroid. It's made my joints ache. And I think it's also impacted my digestive problems, my joints, especially my back. So I'd mentioned my back in particular because it just seemed to go out once in a while. Like, you know, if I strained it by carrying in a heavy box or something like that, it wouldn't hurt right away or it wouldn't bother me right away. But then like later on that day or the next day, I would like just bend over or something like that. And for no reason, it would just like it, you know, they say disc slip or something. Well, you know, that's I don't know what happened. Maybe that's what happened, but you know, my back, a nerve got pinched and my back would just seize up. And I would be laid up in bed for like 3 days. I mean, it just took that long. You know, I went to the chiropractor once, but that's something I have a hard time with chiropractor, you know, the cracking thing bothers me anyway. But I would
Oh,
lay for 3 days waiting, you know. I mean, it was so bad. My husband bought one of those lift beds, you know, the kind that help you
wow.
sit up. He said, you know, in case he couldn't be around to help me get up out of bed, you know, because he works from home, so he's around. But if he weren't around, how would I take care of my daughter if I'm laid up in bed? You know,
Right.
so that was a very big one. Um, and then also I've had a weak pelvic floor. I love to exercise. I used to love to exercise, but I had to stop jumping, running, sit-ups bothered me. It was all, you know, I was having trouble. I thought I was going to have to get a hysterectomy or something like that. And then the doctor said, well, you're coming close to menopause. So if you just wait a little bit, you know, you might be able to avoid that. And that's what happened. But it took longer than he thought, but it got there. And, you know, as far as female issues go, before menopause, I had severe cramping, severe, like call the emergency squad kind of cramping.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
so it was really, really bad. But those were all my issues. All the ones I can remember that are big anyway.
Yeah, well,
Um,
that's enough. That's
yeah,
enough for any
you
one
know,
person.
you just live with it and you don't realize until you start writing them down. You're like, wow, I guess I had some issues. Yeah.
Well,
So,
and the stress of taking care of your daughter, I know what that's like. My mother caregived for my brother for 20 years. Very
mhm,
similar, was nonverbal, partially paralyzed. One
mhm,
minute you'd think he was cognizant, the other one he would take a giant poop on the floor, you know.
mhm, mhm.
Like so in and out of cognitive,
Yeah,
function. And
that's
um
hard. Yeah.
so I know, but the stress of that really, really hurt her health.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I know what you
Yeah.
mean. And as far as chiropractors, I go once a week. Um,
Good for you.
I'm
I
just
got to get over
saying,
that cracking thing.
you get used to it when you understand, like, really, truly the history of chiropractic care. And like, even going back to like the Spanish flu, they were healing people better than the Western medicine.
Yes. Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
you think about everything, it's all about electric impulses in our nervous system. And Anyway, I'm not going to go into that, but I do want to
I get
hear
ya. Yeah, I get
what,
ya. Yeah.
when did you get your device?
I got mine September of last year, so it's coming up on a year now. Yeah, we've
Cool.
had it for a long time. Yeah, yeah. And like a lot of people say, the very first thing I noticed was better sleep and more energy. Yeah. So I was really happy about that, and I've had just progressively more and more energy. And I just actually had a really interesting conversation with my husband recently, where I was saying, honey, I don't need your help as much anymore. I have more energy. I can take care of her. You don't have to help me with that. Or I can cook more meals now, for example. I do, more cleaning than I used to. I was kind of letting go of the cleaning because, I was just kind of worn out. I had to put my feet up at the end of the day because they were getting swollen and stuff. And um, so that was really nice. I was able to tell him, I can do this now. I can do this. You don't have to, because he's like, I don't know, he got the golden ticket when it came to, health and genes and fitness, because, he doesn't even try and he's just fit. So,
Oh, wow.
and I'm grateful that he's there to help me very much. But, it was nice to be able to say, I don't need that. I can do it. I can do it. I have the energy to do that. So that was the first
Awesome.
big thing I noticed. And then, over time also my digestion's improved. I don't have the bloating that I used to have. It's less. It's not all gone, but it's less.
How long
And
did
I
that
can,
take? How long did that take for you to notice that? 'Cause that's a common thing.
yeah. Um, I think, after about 3 to 4 months, I think I was noticing uh better better digestion.
Okay, cool.
Um, it's been gradual for me, but I'm one of those people, I haven't changed my diet that much. So I can be like a true example of what the thing's done for because I haven't changed my diet. I still eat, and it's not that bad. I try to eat healthy, but I do have a little bit of a sugar addiction. So I'm still eating some sugar, which I swear I'm going to stop after the QR.
Well,
But
you know what it is? It's really trying to find something that agrees with your palate that crowds out the sugar. Like, so for me, I don't know if you've seen my recipe floating around, but I make these chocolate peanut butter protein, like little cups. They're small, like a half a tablespoon, and keep them in the freezer. I just put one on my tongue. There's no sugar in it, but it's got that nice chocolate peanut butter flavor. And it just melts on my tongue, and boom, I feel so satisfied.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I used to do that a lot. I was actually very fit. I was in Taekwondo and very fit and um, all that, and I did all that stuff. But then I started developing intolerances to the healthy foods that I wanted to eat. And it was so frustrating and
Yeah.
disappointing and all that kind of stuff. So, but now I can actually eat some of those foods once
Oh,
in a
good.
while, not constantly, but I can, eat them a little bit once in a while, and it's getting better. So my
Oh, good.
digestion, I can tell, is improving. And the big one, is my back problems are gone. I mean,
What?
yeah, I mean, I went out probably 3 months ago. We have a big garden that I feel compelled to keep for whatever reason. And I went out there and I was having to pull up some kind of plastic cover or something. And it was heavy. It had dirt and stones and everything. I was pulling it and I was thinking, okay, I am really putting my back to the test now. And after I did all that, no problems. No back outages. Ever since I've had the device, I have not been laid up in bed. Now I did have a little bit of twinge once, but never have I been laid up in bed since I've had the device. So that's really big for me, really big for me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really huge because you were getting that regularly.
I was. Yeah. I mean, it was happening every few months. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah. And now
wonderful.
it's been almost a year and I haven't had any problem with, haven't had to lay in bed. I haven't had um any situation, I would walk around because I couldn't stand up straight and all that. Yeah. It's I haven't had that, and I'm really thankful for that because I can do the things I need to do and get done and not be laid up and feel like I can't. So
Has your energy continued? Like you still are good since you
yeah,
were?
yeah,
Cool.
yeah. So energy, and I actually, when you were putting out your information about, getting fit, getting in shape, working on your health and all that kind of stuff, I was walking down the road, living here in North Carolina. We live out in the woods too, so it's like very buggy. So you get into the heat of the summer, it's like, I'm not walking down that road because you just, but anyway,
Like flying bugs, like mosquitoes and things like
oh,
that.
fighting flies. Yeah. Horse
Mm.
flies, deer flies, etc. Yeah. And unfortunately, the device hasn't helped me with that. But But when I was walking, I did push myself to run a little bit just to see how I could handle it. And I didn't have any problems. So, I think my pelvic floor is probably a little stronger too, because before
Nice.
there was just no way I could bounce in any way or run or so. So that's been very, very helpful too. But
And that's
yeah,
with
so
doing nothing but carrying your device.
I have two now. I got a second one. I don't let's see. I'm thinking in March maybe or April. I got a second one. So I've got two that I have on. But yeah, I had one starting last September and now I have two.
Okay, cool. I just got my white one, and so I gave my black one to my dog because he's
Yeah.
old and I love him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I have a dog outside. Love my dog too. But she's an outside dog, so I can't, because of rain and all that. Can't put it on her.
yeah,
So
oh
she's a
yeah,
livestock
totally.
guard dog.
Oh,
Wouldn't be
that's
good.
good.
Yeah.
So that brings me to the exciting question, especially probably for you with your daughter. Pretty soon, we're going to be able to go into the Q arc and have a healthy 30-year-old body. And with wisdom, experience, and knowledge to use with that body.
Mhm.
What excites you about that?
That I have so many visions in my mind of how that's going to be. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for her and for myself, um, to see a chance at, her pursuing her dreams, to have an actual chance at a real life, instead of the suffering that she's had to endure. And
Mhm.
and then by consequence the family as well, because the family has to go through that too.
Mm.
So I'm so excited about this opportunity, and then being able to share it with others, because there's such a huge community out there that I was trying not to cry.
Take your time.
They need to know that there's hope.
Yeah. They need to see and be witness to what's possible.
Yeah.
They're not stuck anymore.
That's right. Yeah.
Is your daughter a member?
Yeah, she is. And we tried to do a video already with Sally, but I was in a part of the house where the reception wasn't good. And I found out later that it didn't take very well. So
Mm.
she said something about possibly using it as an audio, and I didn't know if it got used or not, but I thought I would try again.
Has
Oh.
the device helped her at all, Teresa?
Um, well, her experience with the device is she's kind of like a lot of the people who have neurological issues, like with Lyme and things like that. So when we tried the device with her, it aggravated. She would wear it initially, and you could see a smile on her face. So for like the first 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes, she'd be okay. But then after that, she would start to get aggravated. Her OCD would get aggravated. Her insomnia got worse. So her neurological things got a little worse. It's one of those things a lot of people in the community have said that's something you have to work up very slowly with, because it's not easy for people with neurological issues to handle the full load right off the bat. But the thing is, her dad has one, and he carries it in his pocket. I have two. She was one of the first to receive one. She actually got the belt at the very beginning. And so what we do is we keep one on the counter that's within a few feet of her in the kitchen when she's sitting there in the kitchen. So she's exposed to the ambient waves throughout the day, being near me most of the time, and being near that particular one. And we've been participating in, oh, I'm sorry. I know her
Okay.
name, but it's not coming to me. But the hair samples.
Oh, Darlene.
Darlene, thank you. I'm sorry, Darlene. We know your name. Um, so we've been sending in hair samples, and her last one that came in was the best ever. It was like all mostly green, which is balanced. So I
Oh,
know that she's getting some just by being around the ambient waves coming, from mine and from her dad's, and from the one behind her. She is getting something because that showed it. So, even if it's not right on her, she's still getting some of that. And the one thing that I have noticed with her, although lately she's been a little bit regressed and having a harder time, but the one thing I noticed from the beginning up until a few weeks ago, at the beginning when we first started it, I was so desperate to have something for her because she just was miserable most of the time. It's hard watching someone not only be in pain, but know they're in pain, or know that they're not able to do this or that, and then be emotionally miserable because of it. That's, so she was not happy a lot of the time. I would say 75% or more of the time, we would wake up and it wasn't a good day. You could say it was not a good day. And then as time went on with exposure to the device, and I tried initially to like put it on her and then build up time and all that. And we just never could get to a time where it was worth trying to put it on her. So that's why I
yeah.
just laid it on this counter behind her. But now, within like a few months ago, I would say it's more like 25% of the time it's a bad day, and 75% of the time it's good, and she's in
That's
a good mood.
huge.
Yeah. And even though she has OCD and or has some insomnia or issues, the issues don't seem to bother her as much. She's like, okay, whatever. She's got a much better emotional state, and she's handling things better than she did when we first started having the devices in the house. So in that respect, it has helped her a lot,
Oh,
so
good, good. That's probably like such a relief to know that she's going to have success with this whole frequency,
yeah,
healing soon.
she will. Yeah, she will. I'm sure of it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that old saying, when mama's not happy, nobody's happy.
Oh yeah, I know
In
that
our
one.
house, like, when the daughter's not happy, when our daughter's not happy, then mama's not happy, then nobody's happy. So there's like a chain reaction. So it's good that she's, in better mood, because it just affects the whole house.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
I can imagine.
yeah.
Well, what would you like to say in closing, Theresa?
Oh, that I'm so thankful to Cynthia, Dr. A, all the volunteers that have been able to step up and help this project get off the ground and get moving. I'm so thankful to them. And I'm so looking forward to that day when we can all meet in person with each other, in the Q arc and all, and see what we can really do, with the Q arc, and just see everybody in the best shape they've been. I'm so excited I'm looking forward to that a lot.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah. Godspeed.
yeah.
Let's go.
Yes. Yes,
And then
please.
will you guys come back for part 2 after the Q arc?
Most definitely. Yes, for sure. Yes.
I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Definitely. And hopefully being able to meet your daughter at some point too.
Yes, I would have had her. Today wasn't a good day for her. Yeah. I thought it would be better just to talk about it, and yeah. So
Yeah,
I
maybe just
could
when
do
it's
another one. I could do another one and have her on if you want to do that, but
if
she's
and
not
when it's
verbal.
ready. Yeah, if and when it's ready. Otherwise, we can just wait till, after the Q arc, because you've already done a really good job explaining her condition. And
Mhm.
then we'll be able to see her like in all her, true
Yeah.
self. So
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Awesome. Well, Theresa,
All right.
thank you so much for hanging out with me today and sharing your story. And I definitely look forward to seeing you next time.
Yes. Thank you, Tracy.
All right.
Thank you for making this QHS project fly. This valorous admin team, thank you. The Key community welcomes you. Thank you for making your home QHS healthy and happy. Thank you for helping us place QH centers all around the world. Together, hand in hand, we make miracles happen. QuantumHealingSystems.org. Thank you.